to host you.
And these are the latest visuals from the SABC studio in Auckland Park, where the matric results are being announced. Let's listen in live.
And beyond, and that have extended themselves to be the best of the best. We had a wonderful breakfast with them this morning, and the Minister was telling us some really heart-wrenching stories about some of the learners, or some learner last year, that would go and learn under a light outside a police station, just to be able to put in those extra few hours. And that's what it is. Tonight is simply about hard work. To our teachers that are here today, you represent the giants of our society, because it's because of you that you can shape who our children are and who they become. To the parents that have come all this way to celebrate tonight with their top achievers, we as a country are indebted to you because of your input and your investment in your kids. Your kids today will reap the benefits of that. There are so many challenges in our schools. It was, I think, Tata Madiba that once said that the greatest weapon, and I think that he used weapon so well before his time, but the greatest weapon with which we can change our society and change our world is education, and that's what all of you have represented today. We give away a bursary every year to a deserving learner that's here this evening, and we'll watch a video shortly about one of our previous bursary recipients, which brings me such great joy. So on behalf of the SABC Foundation, on behalf of our board and our executives, thank you so much for joining us today in celebration of these learners. Thank you.
The best and most important part of every man's education is that which he gives himself.
My name is Tumelo Mtsinini. I'm 18 years old. Whilst growing up here, I just fell in love with numbers. At school, I discovered that I was very good in maths.
Not even his indigent background could stop him from dreaming big.
I just had a dream like to be a CA one day, so I can just change the situation at home.
Because he excelled in his matric here with 4 distinctions, SABC Foundation awarded Tumelo with the bursary.
I didn't believe it at first, like I was so happy, I just can't describe the feeling at that moment.
Now, Tumelo is a man in the making.
The course that I'm currently studying is BCom Accounting C3, which is for chartered accountants. It's a challenging course, but it's very nice.
He put in effort from day one, and I could see his marks going up. Initially, it was in the 60s, but in the end, he ended with a distinction.
I'm very proud of him.
This feels like a blessing, to be here. I'm very happy and also at the same time very proud of myself. And thank you. I'll say thank you.
SABC Foundation, inspiring greater possibilities.
Our thanks there to the SABC Foundation, and I think those images speak volumes to what can be done just by giving a leg up to a few, and they literally can change the world, not just for the students that are getting through, but what they then do once they get through their education process. Our thanks there. But also, an evening like tonight would not be possible without the generosity and support of various partners as well as sponsors. And I'd like to say thank you very much indeed. And if I could ask the sponsors to stand up when I mention your name, just so that we can acknowledge you. So thanks very much indeed to the following sponsors and supporters. The SABC, the SABC Foundation, the Industrial Development Corporation, NCICA, Vodacom Foundation, the Road Accident Fund, MTN, Massmart, Walmart, Epoch and Optima Trust, and AFBOB. To our sponsors and supporters, thank you very, very much indeed. Now, one of the things that Minister has worked very hard to try and encourage, apart from a lot of the work that she does just running the department and making sure education happens, is trying to generate and encourage a culture of reading across the nation. Because once you read and you open your mind to a whole world, so many things can change. Let's take a look.
The Department of Basic Education has established the Second Chance Matric Support Program.
The aim is to offer young people who have failed to meet the requirements of the National Senior Certificate a second chance to write again.
Get learning and revision material on the DBE website, Facebook, or contact a district office near you. Log on to education.gov.za or find us on Facebook or Twitter, brought to you by the Department of Basic Education.
Okay, so that was the message on the second chance. You're going to hear about that a little bit later on again. But the other program that she encourages is Read to Lead. And hopefully we'll get a chance to hear about that as well in a short while. So I suppose this is the moment that you've all been waiting for. You don't want to hear me talking and yakking away. You want to find out just what the class of 2017 did. Well, Minister, you'll be glad to know that the top achievers that are with us here today are going to receive a variety of gifts this evening. Very thanks to the generosity of our sponsors and their commitment to education. But I'd like to call upon now the Minister just to tell us exactly what happened in 2017. How well did the class of 2017 do? Please put your hands together for the Minister of Basic Education, Mayor Angie Motshekga.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Let me hasten to acknowledge my colleagues. Thank you very much for attending, leadership from provinces, from Parliament, our valued partners in the sector, but more important to the stars of the nation, our top achievers that we have today. So, Program Director, we're here gathered to announce the 2017 National Senior Certificate results. And the results are one of the most important barometers for us as a sector to evaluate progress that we make as government in improving access, redress, equity and efficiency, and the quality of learning and teaching outcomes. And through the implementation of the medium-term strategic framework and the National Strategy for Learner Attainment. So as we implement the medium-term strategic framework and the NSLA, we must take cognizance of the regional, continental, and international declarations, because indeed this year we received almost all the results for all the tests that we've entered for as a country, and because of time we're not able to elaborate on them, and we've attached them on our website if people are interested to know how we have been performing as a country in all the international assessments. We believe that we should always remember that if we have to further improve outcomes of the schooling system, we'll have to improve continuously the fundamental quality of learning and teaching well before grade 12. So we're increasingly prioritizing interventions and policies that target and improve quality and learning and teaching and implementing accountability systems to ensure that quality outcomes are achieved. And more specifically, as I've just referred to, that this year we received your PILs, which are your literacy results, your SACMEC is the SADC results, but also the TIMS ones, which are your numeracy results, and the reports are available in our website. So as we analyze the 2017 results, we wish to remind our fellow South Africans that the public about the main purpose of the National Senior Certificate exam. The primary purpose of these exams is to provide learners with an exit qualification. We, however, are able to also glean on the progress we're making as a country to provide access to an inclusive, equitable, quality, and efficient basic education system. And these results are intended to do exactly that. And now, if the effects of our interventions, we believe as a sector, my colleagues will confirm, that are beginning to show results that there is improvement in teaching and learning. Scientific comparison of the quality learning outcomes are noteworthy to confirm improvements in the recent years. We have reported that the skills of learners have improved. Ambitious policy shifts by government, combined with efforts and commitment to the thousands of people who work in our system, especially our principals, teachers, and parents, they are paying off, and for that we are very humbled and grateful to our teachers, to our parents, and our principals. So the class of 2017 is the 10th cohort of learners who sit for these exams. They are the second largest group that has enrolled in the basic education. This year, 802,431 learners did register, as compared to 629 full-time learners, candidates who wrote, and 173,261 were part-time. But of these 802, 534,484 sat for exams, and 117,223 part-time candidates sat for exams. And we'll explain why the numbers differ. I also want, and I'm very humbled, I see Umalu here, that they have indeed declared the 2017 NSC exams as fair, valid, and credible. They did say they were largely incident-free, and Umalusi said, I quote, "to the success of the heightened vigilance and rigid measures put in place by DBE." So again, you recall last year we did report that we had started a program of progressing learners who would otherwise, or we progress or condoned overage learners who have repeated grade 11 more than once, and give them extra support to sit for the national exams. And others, that's why the numbers differ around those who wrote and those who did not write. Some we had to advise them to modularize their exams. They wrote now in December, they'll write again next year, June. So the support that is provided by provinces to progress learners, I really want to thank the provinces indeed for the extra support that they've been giving to progress learners, because in some instances it would have been special classes that had to be given differently for these learners. For 2017, we registered 107 of them, 430 progress learners. And of these 107, 34,000 of them wrote full subjects. Others had to modularize, hence the figures changed somewhere. Of the progress learners, 18,751 passed, which is 55.1% of those special learners were passed this year. And we have seen amongst them that some of them got bachelor passes, others got distinctions in subjects which are getaway subjects like accounting, business, economics, maths, and physical science. And we think it is a positive sign because the NDP enjoins us to mediate the high dropout rate of learners from the basic schooling system by increasing learner retention to 90%, allowing for an increase in the number of learners entering vocational and occupational streams. So I do wish to remind South Africans again about the Second Chance program and the learner progression policy, which we introduced to redress the inequalities of the past. And I need to emphasize this, especially with the Second Chance, because we do see learners who just need to rewrite one subject, not coming up to write those subjects. So we really are appealing to communities and parents to make sure that learners who qualify for supplementary exams present themselves for supplementary exams. But even those who fail, they must come back and repeat, because we are willing to work with them again to give them a second chance, because I always argue that they've spent more than 12 years of their lives in the system and they can't just let it go without giving it the last shot. So we're encouraging learners and committees to encourage learners to come for the second chance, but those who qualify for rewrite to please rewrite. And again, Chair, we want to, again as a sector, say we strongly believe that an inclusive education system makes and immense contribution towards an inclusive economy to serve an inclusive society. So providing learners with special needs access to quality basic education is one of our biggest programs, and it is an imperative which we derive from the Constitution on the principles of equity and redress, amongst others. We have, for the past few years, included learners with special needs in tracking learner performance in the National School Certificate. So in 2017, we had a whopping increase of learners with special needs, about 42.8% increase from last year, sitting for exams. Of these learners, this year, we presented 2,777 of them. And amongst these, 906 of them managed to get bachelor's, 789 of these got diplomas, and in total, of special needs learners, 76.5% of them passed these exams. And we got 1,956 distinctions from our special needs education system. And for that, we are also very excited and grateful. Again, the other thing I want to report again is about the benefits of a pro-poor policy by government. We also picked up that this year, the NEC passes for quintals 1 to 3 combined, 243 of them, 243,260 passed their exams. From these no-fee paying schools, we managed to get 76,300 bachelor degree passes, which makes 53% of the passes in the system. And the poignant or the very important issue for us here is that greater equity despite the reality of inequalities that persist in the system, because I think it's not a secret that indeed, in terms of many other aspects where we're supposed to provide as government, we've not been successful in terms of infrastructure and all other resources that are needed. And we're encouraged to see that these schools with very little resources have really done well to protect our children and ensure that they have a chance to get good quality education. So the interventions that the Statistician General calls the social wage, we think has improved access to school, it has increased the retention of learners in schools, and it is helping us to promote equity measurably in the education system and to improve substantially the quality of educational outcomes in our system. So in February, we did task a national education evaluation unit to go and look at schools that work and see again what is it that we can do more to support those schools that do work. And from the report, we are proud to say, indeed, there were clear indications of the fact that most of these schools in very disadvantaged areas have been doing quite well. So 79.7% of learners who are recipients of some form of social grant who wrote the National Senior Certificate have passed, clearly showing that the government's pro-poor policy have made an indelible contribution in these young people's lives. So it is indisputable that without such assistance and support, these young people could have been lost to posterity. Now let me report on the performance of districts. Was the NDP recognizes districts as a crucial interface of the basic education sector in identifying best practice, sharing information, and providing support to schools. So let me quickly I'll report on and leave other areas on the results or the outcomes of districts' performance, excluding your progress learners, or including them, the progress learners. So we want to say, in the country, the best performing district is Fezile Dabi, with 90.2%. The second best performing district is Thabo Mofutsanyan in the Free State, with 90%. The third best performing district is Tshwane South in Gauteng with 89.9%. The fourth is Ekurhuleni North in Gauteng at 89.1%. The fifth is Tshwane North in Gauteng at 88.9%. Gauteng West and Johannesburg West tied with 88.6%. So they are 6 and 7. The eighth best performing district is Sidibeng East with 87.9%. And the ninth best performing district is Gauteng East, is Johannesburg East at 87.8%. And the 10th best performing province is Overberg in the Western Cape at 87.7. So I'll go to the report in terms of how our provinces have performed. And let me announce that here we're again including progress learners so that we can save time. There are 2 provinces that have performed below 70% but have recorded great improvement. The Eastern Cape achieved 65%, which is a big improvement of 5.7% from 2016. So it is the second largest improvement. Limpopo achieved 65.6%, again an improvement of 3.1% from 2016. The 4 provinces that achieved above 70, KwaZulu-Natal achieved 72.9%, which is the largest improvement for this year of 6.5%. Mpumalanga achieved 74.8%, which is a decline of 2.3%. Northern Cape achieved 76.6%, again it's a decline of 3.1%. Northwest achieved 79.4%, a decline of 3.1%. And the following, we call them Premier League provinces, which always perform above 80%. Oh, the Free State is there also as a Premier League. So the Western Cape achieved 87.7%, which is a decline of 3.2%. Gauteng achieved 85.1%. It remained the same, that Delsouf is not moved backwards or forward. And again, our top performing province is Free State, not Free State. So it has declined to 2.1% because it is at 86.1%, but we wish to congratulate MEC Tate and your team again for being the leading province in the country. But we've also noted with satisfaction the upward trend in the performance of the 3 most rural provinces, namely Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal, and Limpopo. Because these provinces are very important in the sector because they represent 51.5% of children of our learners in the country. So 3 years ago, if you remember, we had declared that we need to have special interventions in the Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal, and Limpopo. And I am encouraged that indeed the interventions that the provinces have put in place are beginning to pay dividends. So let's get back to the real one, overall results. For the past 7 years, we have noted that the National Senior Certificate pass has consistently been above 70% threshold. And the class of 2017 must be commended for maintaining this trend. So 2017 overall pass rate with progress learners or excluded, stands at 75.6%, which is an improvement of 0.3%. But the results of 2017, with progress learners included, the overall pass stands at 75.1%, which is an improvement of 2.6% from last year's results, representing 401,435 candidates who've passed the 2017 National Senior Certificate exams, and want to represent them. So we want to say well done to the class of 2017. In terms of overall analysis of results, this year more than 153,610 of our students achieved bachelor passes, which means they can qualify not to walk to universities, if they have not applied, to go online and make sure that they apply. And then 161,333 of them again should not walk to, they will have passed with diplomas and they can go to universities of technology. And 86,265 of them can go to TVETs again without working in, but they do qualify to go there. So what is important for us to note is that 314,943 candidates who achieve the bachelor passes, as I say, are eligible to go to institutions of higher learning and also to your TVET colleges. So in the 12 key subjects, including accounting, business studies, mathematics, economics, physical science, amongst others, this year we've recorded more than 61,448 distinctions. 5,040 distinctions in accounting, 6,726 distinctions in maths, 7,861 distinctions in physical science, and the other distinctions would have come from other subjects. But also on the girl child, that there were 65,037 more girls who wrote the National Senior Certificates, which constitute 54%, and it does mean that many in this room match us up and make sure that we protect also the boy learner, because as gender activists, I think we're doing our part as the girl learner, with a girl learner. So this translates into the percentage of 73.4 girls who have passed the National Senior Certificate, and now when it comes to passing boys, 77.2%. So it's gender roles. They have boys' rooms, they don't do domestic work, but in terms of numbers, the girls were leading. So 28% of the girls got their bachelors as compared to 29%. 28% of the girls got diplomas and 32% of the boys got it. And same with the higher certificate, it's 16.4% and the girls are at 15.8%. So clearly our gender-based interventions have improved the performance levels of girls. While this is plausible, we must make a concerted effort to provide similar interventions for the boy child. Because even our regional and international studies are imploring us to do so, that there are beginning to be signs of regress when it comes to the boy child. So, Program Director, let me conclude and say, fellow South Africans will be the first to concede that despite the notable improvements in our system, we are yet to cross our own Rubicon. We must agree that much has been achieved, but much more needs to be done in the areas, again, of efficiency and quality, and we must hold hands to further improve our system. Once again, I want to take off my hat for the class of 2017. I wish them the best in their future. I believe that they will continue to shine wherever they are. And speaking of success, Madiba said, I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. So in celebrating the class of 2017, I want to thank the principal and teachers and parents also for the work they continue to do in supporting our learners and our children. What you do at the school level is what matters most, because what we are celebrating today is the work of parents, learners, teachers, and principals at the school level. So the nation had put the future of our children in your hands, and you delivered. And let me acknowledge the President, the Cabinet, sister departments that work with me in Cabinet, the oversight committees. I see my chairpersons are here in Parliament, my colleagues from different provinces, the MECs and their respective heads of department, for the stewardship, leadership, and continued support and hard work. I really want to thank Tatemweli and his team of officials for their continued sterling work and support. Lastly, but certainly not least, I wish to thank our partners in the sector, our teacher unions, our governing body associations, our learner associations, our business partners, Umalusi Says and the NEC team, our researchers and ordinary South Africans who together with us have made the stability and the improvement of the basic education sector our collective responsibility. She'll say to you, each time the journalist interviewed to say, what about you? And I said, you can translate your name. If you stay together, you have to fight. You can't stay together and not have fight, but it doesn't make you enemies. And I'm very grateful to our teachers for all the support that they give us throughout the year. Finally, I really want to thank the SAPC. I want to thank our sponsors that are here, in particular Nzika, which was our main sponsor for the year. We're very grateful and thank you very much. Program Director, it's the time for the stars.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The Department of Basic Education has started a campaign to get the nation to read. Research shows that we are not doing enough reading as a country.
Did you know that the reading statistics show that only 14% of South Africans are readers of books? Only 5% of parents read to their children. This indicates that we do not have a strong reading culture. Literacy is a fundamental building block for learning and also a good personal empowerment tool. That's why we invite you to join the Read to Lead campaign, an initiative by the Department of Basic Education. We urge you to drop all that you do and dedicate at least 30 minutes a day and read a book.
Wow. So, well done to the class of 2017. Let's give them a big hand. Well done. And one person and one group and one team that we haven't congratulated this evening is Minister Angie Motshekga and the whole department. Well done for another successful year. Congratulations. Okay, so you heard it. The story is we improved. We're moving forward. We're marching forward. But as Minister says, there's still much to be done, but we can celebrate those steps that we have taken. We're certainly moving in the right direction. Now, there's going to be a few people this evening that are going to be taking a few steps onto the stage here from where they're sitting as we acknowledge them, because these young people here represent the very best of what's come through in the class of 2017. And just before we call them up and tell you who did well in what, in which area and which school they're from, I'd like to take this opportunity once again to say thank you very much indeed to our sponsors and our supporters, because these young people are going to win quite a lot of prizes today. And I can tell you that the total value of the prizes that the class of 2017 top achievers will be walking away with is more than 3 million rands worth of prizes. Thank you very much indeed to our sponsors. Just to give you an idea of what those prizes are, the IDC, thank you very much for full bursaries for the top 3 learners in the LSEN category and 20,000 Rand in study assistance for each of the top learners in the quintile 1, 2, 3 categories, a total sponsorship of the value of 1.1 million. NCICA, thank you so much for 10 bursaries in any field of study to the total value of 750,000 Rand. Vodacom Foundation, 21 laptops, printers, cell phones, routers, airtime, SIM card packages to a total value of 476,000 Rand. SABC Foundation, a bursary to the value of 300,000 Rand to the top performer in the quintile 1 category. The Road Accident Fund, financial support towards special study needs for the top 3 learners in the LSEN category to the total value of 150,000 Rand. MTN, 3 laptops and MTN branded merchandise packages to the total value of 105,000 Rand. Massmart Walmart, 9 2-in-1 tablets, printers, Microsoft Office packages, optical mouses, Bluetooth speakers, external hard drive packages to the total value 66,000 Rand. AFBOB, thank you very much for 9 tablets and 31,500 Rand worth of textbook vouchers to the total value of 45,000 Rand. And Epoch and Optima Trust book vouchers for the top 3 learners in quintiles 1, 2 and 3, and the total value there is 30,000 Rand. So once again, thank you very much indeed to our sponsors. Thank you for your generosity and support. How's that? You guys, is that going to work for you? You sure? Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to meet our top achievers. And if I could ask our various dignitaries that are going to be presenting the awards, Minister and Deputy Minister. And the first category, ladies and gentlemen, this evening is the top achievers in mathematics. And what I'd like to do, I'll call out three names, third, second, and first. The third and second place, if you could just stand up and then we'll clap for you where you are. And then the first place can come and get a picture and a photo taken. Second and third is great, I promise you, because that's second and third in the whole country, by the way. So let's give them a big round of applause when they do stand up. All right, so third place in the top achievers in mathematics. Congratulations from Emang Morejo High School in the Northern Cape, Mokgopodi Mulusi. Second place, Kodani Nemalamangwa from Tengwe Secondary School, Limpopo. And the top achiever in mathematics this year, Takalani Bambela from Chivase Secondary School, Limpopo. Well done, congratulations. The next category for this evening is in the top achievers in quintile 1. And third place goes to, congratulations, Talenta Ngobeni, Acorns to Oaks Comprehensive High School in Mpumalanga. In second place, Buitumela Ngwepe, Dendron Secondary School, Limpopo. And in first place, the top achiever in quintile 1, congratulations to Riamuhetse Mufitiso, Lihana Senior Secondary School, Eastern Cape. Congratulations, well done. Our next category this evening is top achievers in physical science. And in third place, congratulations, Aaron Solomons, Rondebosch Bos High School, Western Cape. Second place, Mateus Carstens, Hoër School, Durbanville, Western Cape. And the top achiever in physical science, congratulations and well done to Timera Naidu, Port Shepstone High School, KwaZulu-Natal. Well done to our winners, congratulations. Our next category this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is for learners with special education needs. And in third place, congratulations to Katleko Manone from Marty Duplessis High School, Free State. Second place is Tumelo Mashiho, Mural Brand School, Gauteng. He wants to be a lawyer, I found that out. First place, congratulations and well done, Joshua Chetty, Nueva Hope School, Gauteng. I like him a lot. Earlier on he was saying he watches me on the news, so he's my favorite guy. All right, so our next category this evening, top achievers in mathematics and physical science. Congratulations and well done. In third place, Pikolomzim Jikelwa, St. James's Secondary School, Eastern Cape. In second place, well done, from Limpopo, once again, Kodani Namalamangwa, Tengwe Secondary School. And in first place, well done, again from Limpopo, Takalani Bambela. Well done, congratulations to you. Now, the top achievers in quintile 2. Third place, well done, congratulations. In third place, Takalani Bambela. He's busy collecting stuff. In second place, also from Limpopo, Sintumele Secondary School, Musiwalo Kutama. Congratulations, the first place, top achiever, quintile 2, Sianda Pikwa, Raymond Matlaba Secondary School, Gauteng. Oh, big hand. Well done. Congratulations to our champion students. So we move to quintile 3 now. This is the top achievers in quintile 3. Congratulations. In third place, Pikolomzi Mjikelwa, St. James's Senior Secondary School, Eastern Cape. And in second place, well done to Mpoentle Piliso, Tofi Baba, Senior Secondary School, Eastern Cape. And in first place, well done, you are the top achiever, quintile 3, Mandisa Kaba, Sakelwe High School, KwaZulu-Natal. Well done, congratulations. And in our next category this evening, it's the top achievers in quintile 4. And in third place, well done, from Hoërskool Rustenburg, Marie Tinka Olivier. In second place, you've met her already, from Port Shepstone High School, KwaZulu-Natal, Timera Naidu. And the top achiever in quintile 4. Congratulations and well done to Anza Chipetane, Bilwe Secondary School in Popo. Sheesh, Limpopo's rocking the house tonight. Our last category for this evening is the top achievers in quintile 5. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we say congratulations and well done on your third place. Joanna Laura Smith, Danville Park Girls High School, KwaZulu-Natal. In second place this year in the top achievers, quintile 5, Mateus Carstens, Hoërskool Durbanville, Western Cape. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand as we say congratulations to the top achiever, quintile 5, 2017. First place and the top achiever in the country from the class of 2017. Janka van Dijk, Hoërskool Belleville, Western Cape. can I just ask everybody to stand up and salute our young students who've really done well. Well done to the class of 2017. Congratulations. Well done. Well done. Well done to you. Thank you so much for giving us this joy. Thank you very much. You can take your seats. I'm run out of breath. Can I ask Deputy Minister, we say thank you very much indeed, Minister, Deputy Minister Mbasesi, if you could join us just to say a few words of thanks.
The Department of Basic Education has established the Second Chance Matric Support Program.
The aim is to offer young people who have failed to meet the requirements of the National Senior Certificate a second chance to write again.
Get learning and revision material on the DBE website, Facebook, or contact a district office near you. Log on to education.gov.za or find us on Facebook or Twitter, brought to you by the Department of Basic Education.
Well, good evening, everybody, and perhaps we should start by saying well done to Peter Ndoro, the Program Director, for managing the program so well. Thank you very much for doing so. Of course, this is followed by our heartfelt congratulations and with great pride to our achievers of 2017. Very, very well done. That comes from the Ministry of Basic Education. So well done. Let's put our hands together again. Present amongst us are the MECs for Education from Gauteng, from the Northwest, from Limpopo, from KwaZulu-Natal, the Western Cape, and of course, last in, first out, right on top, Tate. Congratulations and thank you very, very much, because what you're seeing out here is really the hard work of the political principals, the heads of department of the different provinces, the district directors, the principals of schools, and the educators who have contributed to the success. This is a culmination of a long journey in education, and we would like to acknowledge their presence and thank them for the incredible support, those that are here and those who are not here. Also present amongst us is the Deputy Minister for Higher Education and Training. He is here for two reasons. One is to give us support, and secondly, to think about what he's got to do about this incredible challenge that he faces with pre-education. Thousands upon thousands of them are going to go to his institutions of higher learning, and he's probably want to consult with us to say, basic education, how did you get it right? We will share the information with you, but thank you very much for your presence out here. And indeed, our thanks go to the SABC, the SABC Foundation, NSICA, Vodacom Foundation, the Road Accident Fund, MTN, Massmart, Walmart, Epoch, and Optima Trust, AppBob. You will notice that AppBob is last because they are the last to let you down. We must also acknowledge the presence of the South Africa School Governing Body Associations of South Africa. Thank you very much for his leadership, for being present out here. We have the labor union representatives, and we work extremely well with them, and they contribute very significantly to the stability of our system of education. We would like to acknowledge and thank them. We obviously cannot but say thank you to Umalusi, because they do an incredible job in relation to the oversight of the Department of Basic Education's work, as well as those of independent schools. And just for your information, we do 800,000, the IEB does 12,000. That's the difference in terms of quality and quantity. So as we look at what we see in the achievement, you would say that's a huge, huge task that we face, and certainly they do a wonderful job in terms of the oversight. Thank you very much. I acknowledge the presence of both the CEO as well as the chairperson of the organization. We also note the presence of our partners in education, the National Education Collaboration Trust. Gordon Koza, you are here, thank you very much. And part of the improvement that you see in Limpopo, that you see in the Eastern Cape, and you see in KwaZulu-Natal is as a result of this collaboration between the private sector and government. And thank you very much for your collaborative efforts. We also recognize the presence of the principals associations, as well as principals, and thank them for their incredible commitment. We cannot but also acknowledge the presence of SACE, the South African Council of Education, and thank you for your incredible support. Then this this effort here is a culmination of hard work by thousands of people. 44,911 markers. Can I say it again? 44,911 markers, 65,000 invigilators in 6,848 exam centers. More than some 800,000 learners had sat for the examinations, and I think we should thank them for their discipline, for their diligence, for their hard work, and for the overall achievement in terms of what they did. And just to think about it, there were 7.8 million question papers that were printed. That is a huge task that we were able to undertake, and we were able to undertake it in a very credible way. That means that the Director General, his heads of department, Mr. Padiachi, Dr. Polya, the provincial heads of department have done a remarkable job. But we are always kept on our toes. We're kept on our toes by a very, very efficient and competent portfolio and select committee. I noticed the presence of the Portfolio Committee chairperson and some members of the Portfolio Committee. Thank you very much for your consistent and sustained support and your oversight. And it really is something quite remarkable. So the contribution of education as a continuum is a result of the collective effort of everybody. And not only are we in the business of education, but education should be everybody's business. We do believe that is the formula for success. Now, there are 5 things that I could thank my minister for, and I would like to end with that. First is in a sound and very, very, and a great foresight in accepting and recognizing, not now, many years ago, that early childhood development holds the key to success. These beautiful learners, these wonderful achievers are the products of hard work that had taken place in the early years. And to that we say thank you to the educators, the practitioners, and the professionals that have brought them to this end here. The second is to embed in our system of education the importance of literacy and numeracy. And Minister, thank you very much. Your efforts certainly are not going to go unnoticed to distribute 56 million textbooks between grade R and grade 9 to every learner, black and white, in every quintile of the school, free of charge, is quite remarkable, and we've been doing that for more than a decade. Thank you for that. The third is the reality that we are in the 4th industrial revolution. And we have to recognize that ICT has to be integrated in education, that the pedagogy of education, the methodology of education would have to change in terms of how you facilitate teaching and learning. Autonomous learning would be the norm. We would expect collaborative learning to take place, and educators would become facilitators. And Gauteng has indeed led the way in terms of doing that with the Western Cape, in terms of ICT, and the Free State. Those 3 provinces in particular have done extremely well, and we have prepared ourselves for that. To the extent that we have been able to digitize textbooks, more than 50% of our textbooks, which we own as the Department of Basic Education, and it is in the public interest domain, and that we've basically digitized our entire curriculum content, and we hope by the end of this year to digitize textbooks for every single grade. That means that education would be available to every child, to every educator, to every caregiver, free of charge. For that, Minister, we thank you for it, because digitization is indeed the literacy of tomorrow. And last but not least is the importance of mathematics, science, and technology. You will have noticed that we've really exceeded expectations. We've done very well. The raw marks in mathematics and science have been accepted, which shows that the focus in mathematics and science and technology as part and parcel of this important thrust of the 4th Industrial Revolution have not been gone unnoticed. And to that extent, one has to basically congratulate KwaZulu-Natal. They, amongst all the provinces, produce more than 52% of learners who have taken mathematics rather than mathematical literacy as a first choice. So we say well done to you. Now, lastly, it's not only about academic achievements. What the Minister has done, and has done so in collaboration with the Department of Higher Education and Training, is to ensure that we provide vocational education, technical vocational education, and technical occupational education in our schools. That would mean that learners would now have 3 choices: the academic, the vocational, and the occupational. I think that shows a particular vision, and our achievement is not the result of only the Department of Basic Education and its leadership, or the provincial departments. I think it's a collective result of the nation who believe that indeed we are a credible organization committed to the continuum of education from preschool right up to post-school. Thank you very much for your kind attention. You have been a wonderful audience. I noticed that you were sitting here long before 5 o'clock. You have been extremely patient, very, very disciplined, and certainly you would learn from them how to behave yourselves in class when you're at university. Thank you very, very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much indeed, Deputy Minister Mboseti. And that's where we're going to leave it, ladies and gentlemen. Didn't 2018 start well? What a good story to tell. The class of 2017. And the headline tomorrow is that the class of 2017 not only maintained the standards, but they raised them even higher. So thank you and well done to, as you were saying, heard just now, it was a collective effort. Everybody contributed and did well. And well done to the Free State. Tate Merwe back at top. You must be very happy there. So that's where we're going to leave it. Thank you all very, very much indeed for you at home that have been watching. I know that after midnight and early tomorrow morning, you'll get your individual results. But as a collective, 2017, you've done us proud. And as we say goodnight to the class of 2018, good luck. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. Thank you.